Now, y'all know ever since I've been on this platform, man, I have been one who has always said one woman is too close to zero. I'd rather have none than one. Now, first off, let's talk about what polygyny is and what it is not. Polygyny is not you got a wife at home and you got a side chick somewhere else. Polygyny is not you got multiple families that don't know about each other. You got a family in Birmingham, you got a family in Atlanta. That's not polygyny. Polygyny is not being a player having a bunch of women who, know that you're not looking for a relationship, but if they knew how many women you were actually sexually active with, the majority of those women, especially if they're quality women, would leave you alone because truth be told, no quality woman wants to deal with a man who is having sex with 20 or 25 women simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? No quality woman really wants that. It's too dangerous out here. So any woman who values herself is just not going to deal with the man who presents himself as that for sure, or who has that type of reputation. That's just the way it is. We can act like that's not true, and and tell ourselves that all the fine women want a man that's having sex with a lot of women. That's foolishness. That's not real. Any woman who's okay with that is scarred. You know what I'm saying? She's scarred. Any woman who's as emotionally stable as a woman can be is, or who's aware of her emotional state, well, they just won't. Now, I'll tell you what, something else that is not. It is not having a stable of women like a pimp. That's not polygyny either. That's pimping. Where you got a main chick and there's a rank, and she's above the rest of them, and then you got the bottom chick and all that. That's not it. It's also not being in a relationship where you're not in a cohabitation situation, but you've got a chick who you call your main chick, and then you got some other chicks. That's not polygyny either. Polygyny is the art of actually being in a relationship, a serious relationship, with at least two women at the same damn time. On the surface, all cards face up. Everybody knows what's going on. It is the most complicated relationship that a man can, absolutely the most complicated relationship that a man could be in, that a man could maintain, because it's easy to have a main chick and then have side chicks. There's a ranking there. You don't have to worry about anything. This is the main chick. But let me tell you something. The side chick eventually wants to become the main chick. You see what I'm saying? Or wants to be treated the same as the main chick. What you have to understand is women are innately wired to want to be the most important woman in your life. That's just how it is. She can be a straight up scallywag, but after a while, she's going to want to be treated at least as good as the most important woman in your life. All the things she says she could deal with, and any man who's had these situations knows this, can vouch for this. All the things she said she dealt with in the beginning that were okay with her, she didn't care. She wasn't looking for that serious anyway. 6 months in, she goes against all that shit, and now she wants to go. She wants to be the main one. She wants this shit. It gets to the point where she wants you to leave your main chick and be with her. And don't mess around and be stupid enough to get your side chick pregnant. You get your side chick pregnant. Oh, she thinks she's supposed to completely replace your old lady. Nah, you're supposed to create a family with her. But how do you avoid these things? How do you avoid it? You have to understand how to get the best out of women. And the way to get the best out of women is to understand the expectation, that not only the expectation they have currently, but the expectation they'll have eventually. Because hopefully none of us are dealing with women that we couldn't see around us long term. If you're a grown man and you're still dealing with women that you couldn't even fathom being around you long term, then you're a beta male simp mangina and you your heart up for sex. That means you knocking down anything. You're knocking down women who don't have high quality, who don't have high value to you. But for those of us who understand this, you have to put women in your life in a position that makes them more likely to give you the best that they've got. And you do that by understanding that if you're going to deal with quality women and you want multiple women, you got to be open about it and you got to put them on the same level. Now, how do you go about this? The first thing you have to understand is this: each woman in your life has to have a purpose that she feels is significant to you. It doesn't really matter how significant you feel her purpose is. She has to feel her purpose is significant to you. You understand? If you got a woman that clean up and cook, and you got a woman that go get money, both of them have to feel like their purpose in your life is equally as important. And you know what? That's a responsibility that you have to take on. You have to cultivate that understanding. You have to govern that emotional state with these women. See, this shit ain't for the faint of heart. You know what I'm saying? Because even a man that's a successful pimp can't really pull this off. You got to be deeper into women's psyche than even pimping, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, this is the ultimate level of understanding women, bro. Because it is when in the game, women understand how the game goes. Pimping has been around, and a lot of the times, a woman that you procure has already been with a pimp before. Or she's so new to the game that she's just going to take your instruction. We're not talking about a game that's been around before. 9 times out of 10, you enter into a polygynous relationship with women. These women have never been in this type of relationship. You know why? Because most men are chronic liars and they're not going to be forthcoming about their desires to have this type of relationship. Many men could have this type of relationship if they just didn't go in with everyone. Well, I ain't looking for no relationship. I ain't looking for no relationship. I'm always looking for a relationship. I'm just not looking for a relationship with one woman. But I'm always looking for a relationship. I want to be in a relationship, just not a monogamous one. And that's the thing that all men really want to be in relationships, man. When you really think about it, man, you just don't want to be in a monogamous relationship. But for the most part, deep down inside, if we take all this red pill shit off the surface and stop, talking all this, this we understand hypergamy and all that shit right there. Let me tell you something, man. You have to understand that hypergamy only matters when the woman didn't want you in the first place. Because there are men who are rich who get left for a man who ain't got a fraction of the paper they got. Prime example, Diddy. Man, Diddy cultivated this young chick from the time she was young. Man, that boy went through some of his life. Man, she bounced on him and moved on to somebody who was more her speed. What do we call that? Reverse hypergamy? None of these things exist if you are in control of your scenarios with women. Hypergamy exists with men who are weak, with men who the woman never was impressed by. The man never did dominate the woman. Eventually, a woman get tired of dominating you. But that's neither here nor there. The real deal is this, man. To be in this scenario with you, man, a woman has to have supreme confidence in herself. Like, she really has to have supreme confidence in herself. And we know that the majority of women don't have confidence in themselves. Even if they try to act like they do, they don't. That's why I'm about the natural beauty. I like the natural hair. I like the natural skin. I like the natural boobs. I like the natural booty. All of those natural things are wonderful to me because let me tell you something. A woman who can embrace her natural beauty will enhance her natural beauty and therefore always be more beautiful than a woman who has that makeshift beauty that she has to put on and take off every day. That's the ultimate level of self-confidence. When a woman looks at herself, she looks at her hair and she loves the texture of her hair and she figures out a way to wear her hair in its natural texture. She loves her skin and she figures out a way to keep her skin healthy and vibrant and she flexes her skin. She likes her body, so she does everything to keep her body right and tight. That's the ultimate level of self-confidence in a woman. I don't care what any woman says. That's the ultimate level of self-confidence. You find a woman who has a bad body, and I'm talking about a tight body, and is natural. I guarantee you, that woman is not going to wear a whole lot of makeup. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, every woman I've ever come into contact with that was naturally bad didn't wear a lot of makeup. As a matter of fact, if she wasn't, going somewhere or doing somewhere where it was required, like she just didn't wear makeup every day. And I'm not going to say all these women wore, their hair in a fro, but they wore their hair. When I say natural hair, I don't care if you perm your hair. You can perm your hair as your hair, as long as it's your hair. I don't care what you do to your hair, as long as it's your hair. That's the ultimate level of confidence. And a woman has to have that level of self-confidence, because what you're telling a woman is that it's going to be you and another woman, at least one more woman. For me, it's just two. So we'll just stick with my scenario. You're telling her that you're going to have to coexist in a dwelling with another woman and not view her as competition. Friendly competition is you have to incorporate friendly competition into this scenario for it to work. But I'll explain that in a minute. But she can't view the other woman as a threat. See, there's competition, which is okay, may the best woman win. And then there's a threat. Oh, I can't beat her. If she goes into the scenario feeling like that, it ain't gonna work, man. It takes years, man, to procure two women who can fit into this scenario. It takes years. Now, another thing you have to understand is this. They must genuinely bond in friendship first. This is a long process. You don't just meet two women and say, hey, let's hold up, man. I've been out at the lake today. Man, I swallowed about 15 gnats. I've been choking ever since, man. I've been coughing ever since, man. I swear, man, gnats was everywhere, bro. Man, I ain't never been, man. We was literally overrun by gnats out there, man. All right, let's do it. So you got to keep in mind this, man. If they don't bond in friendship first, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. So this, and this is the one scenario I say it's okay to have female friends, because this is just a stepping stone. The friendship is just a stepping stone into the relationship. You can't have female friends long term, but they must bond in friendship. Just why, I told y'all in the song, man, I understand my women, so I make them both feel like they're my best friends. You have to make them both feel like they're your best friends. And that way, you're the glue that holds the friendship together. Like these are your two best friends. You verbally relay that. You relay that with your actions to them. And they both really feel like they're your best friends. And guess what happens when two girls have a common best friend? Somehow, magically, I don't know what happens, but magically, they become really, really close. You know why? Because you're doing a lot of things with them. There is no competition between them. See, you have to cultivate this even playing field between them, because they're not going to do it themselves. You have to build that. That foundation of equality is the only way this is going to work. You can't have a polygynous relationship where one woman feels like she's inferior to the other. It's never going to work. Never. So this takes time, man. This takes time. Another thing is this. There is no main chick or side chick. Honestly, those are terms used by beta male simp manginas who live a secret life outside of the home. Main chick, side chick, those are terms lived by men who ain't got the balls to live honestly, man. Those are terms used by men who feel like one woman is so valuable, man, that they got to lie to her to keep her, man. Oh, well, I got a side chick. No, baby, I ain't got nobody. Who that chick calling you? I ain't got nobody. You putting her name in the phone. You got your homie Josh name in the phone, man, twice. One of them is her. Come on, man. That's for beta male simp manginas, man. If you're going to be a man, then you live your life the way you want to live it. And this is the thing. However you want to live your life, why try to lie somebody into that life? If you got to lie a woman into that life, then you know it ain't for her. You only have people in a scenario. It's kind of like if I got a position at my company and it requires a master's degree, if you only got a bachelor's degree, you ain't going to get that position. I'm not going to try to plug you into that position. You're not qualified. It's the same thing in real life when you're dealing with women, man. You got to keep it a buck about your desires from the gate. It don't take me long, man. It didn't take me long. It didn't take me long, man, to because I've always just let women know, man, what I'm about. Well, are you against relationships? No, I'm not against relationships. I'm against monogamy. And that leads into a conversation. And there are many women that I've spoken with over the years, man, who got a great understanding of what polygyny was. It just wasn't for them at that particular time. But I guarantee you those women had a different insight. And they probably ended up in a polygynous relationship, man. Because the bottom line is, it's best for all parties involved. This is the thing. Women have to understand that every man at some point is gonna have another woman. Now, this is the thing. The quality of that woman is going to be determined on how free he can be to spend time with her. If he can only steal away, once or twice a month, then the quality of that woman is not going to be very high, because at a certain point, a high quality woman wants more time than that. And I'll be honest with you, as an alpha man, you ain't really got no business, man, dealing with no low quality woman who will just take anything. Even as raw as I am, man, I don't want no woman, man, who will take anything, man, who will just, whatever I give her, she okay with it. See, men talk a lot about quality women, but the only thing they talk about is her physicality. And you just simply can't quantify a woman as quality by her looks. You simply can't. You can quantify her as beautiful by her looks, but quality? Come on, man. Many people think the Chevrolet Camaro looks better than the Honda Accord or the Toyota Camry. They may. But when we're talking about quality, that has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's the same thing with women. So if you got to use terms, main chick, side chick, you know what I'm saying? That's my little shorty right there, man. Or you got to be going out of town or lying to your woman about where you're going to spend time. Hey, man, this ain't for you. This ain't for you. First of all, you got to be willing to lose anybody in your life who's not okay with being around the way you want to live your life. Anybody who's not okay with the way you want to live your life, you got to be okay with losing that person out of your life. Matter of fact, you ain't losing that. You got to be okay with sending that person out of your life. You got to be okay with giving that person a free get out of jail free card to get out of your life. Also, let's talk about quality time with these women, because this is where a lot of men are going to get hung up at when you try this. Solo quality time is just as important as duo quality time. You understand? In my scenario, that solo quality time is very important, because you got to keep in mind, you met these women solo. You know what I'm saying? When you meet these women solo, you have to keep, but let me tell you something, the catch to the solo quality time is it must be done at an opportune time to avoid feelings of neglect from the woman you're not spending time with. So you can't just tell a woman, hey, you stay home and watch TV while, me and Vanessa go here. You can't do that. Or you can't tell Vanessa, hey, Vanessa, you stay at home. Sabrina and I are going to go here. You can't do that. You have to wait until you have to pick times because these women are busy now. We'll talk about all this as we go on. You have to pick a time to do something with Sabrina where Vanessa is going to be preoccupied already. Let's say you got two college chicks, and one of them's already graduated. All right. I mean, let's say you got another chick. She's working on her thesis, or she's got finals coming up. She's got to study. Bam, perfect time. She's already preoccupied. You don't play that game about not studying or not. No, you're not gonna take no. You're not gonna skip studying to come hang out. No, and she's not gonna do that anyway. You already know what type of quality woman she is. She got her mind made up by what she's gonna do. She's focused. So, and you need that degree for your business. You need her to go ahead and get that thing. So you got to pick a time, and and sexually as well. Because not all the time, bro, to be perfectly honest with you, it's going to be rare that you have a successful polygynous relationship where, you're sleeping with both women together, where you're having menages, man, you're having threesomes, man. It cheapens the sexual interaction. You know what I'm saying? It cheapens the sexual interaction unless these women absolutely want to do it. You know what I'm saying? You can't press it. This isn't something you can press. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the sexual interaction, man, with any women, when it comes to sexual interaction between women, that shit just has to happen naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be pushing something like that, because then it seems like you have a sexual agenda. And the worst agenda, the most beta agenda a man can have is a sexual agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like, a sexual agenda is just weak. It's like, see, you got a sexual agenda. You're gonna do these things and say these things and try to manipulate these things on just for sex. Come on, man. So you got to figure out times. Hopefully you can, and you got to plan all these things to a T. Like, you can't get two women who come on a cycle at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You certainly don't want two women who come on who are on at the same time. Eventually, they're going to start coming on at the same time anyway. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, if they're with you long enough and they're in the same household long enough, eventually their cycles are probably going to sync together anyway. And at that time, you get a break from them both. Because, this is the thing, man. You have to incorporate the Most High into all of this. Like, you have to incorporate the statutes and commandments of the Most High. So these women have to be willing to follow you spiritually, or they have to follow you spiritually. They ain't got to be willing. Either they do or they don't. Either they do or they gone. But you have to incorporate that so these women know that when they're on a cycle, they got to be separated. That's your free time from them. Because this is the thing. Polygyny equals, it's not polygyny if you're not cohabitating with both of these women, and both these women aren't in your dwelling with you. Otherwise you just got two girlfriends. So we're talking advanced relationship here. We're talking about a relationship where you pretty much got two wives. Of course, you can't legally marry them. I mean, in Utah you might be able to, but in most places in the United States, man, you can't marry both of them legally. And we ain't talking about no legal marriage anyway around here, not in the atmosphere. So you have to keep in mind that the Most High has already set out all the laws, statutes, commandments you need to govern this type of relationship. Now, another thing is this, man. Non-sexual intimacy is even more imperative than sexual intimacy, because sexual intimacy is a natural occurrence. You don't even have to push that. One thing you must absolutely be is attracted to these women and attractive to these women. That you must there must be a sexual chemistry, man, that's off the chain. You understand? There must be. Absolutely must be. But how do you temper that where you ain't tricking off your testosterone, tricking off your energy by having sex all the time with these two women? Because you're gonna really, really focus on non-sexual intimacy. See, women love non-sexual intimacy. Sometimes non-sexual intimacy can take the place of sexual intimacy for women. We just don't do it because, if you don't have women around you, man, that are really on your team and in a serious situation with you, then you don't want to waste your time and energy, man, on a non-sexual intimacy with those women. Non-sexual intimacy is meant for your woman. Not some chick you couldn't, not some bra you met. Non-sexual intimacy is meant for your woman, the woman who is contributing to your life. And in this scenario, these two women are contributing to my life. So this is what you have to do. You have to always be willing to see. And this is something you can do a lot of times. The non-sexual intimacy, you can do this with both women together. You know what I'm saying? Shit, man. Break out the massage tables, man, or hire a company to come in, man, who bring the massage tables in, man. And y'all have couples massages, man. Just let them come to the house and give y'all couples massages, man. All three of y'all, man, get massages, man. That's something intimate for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean much to us, but to them, man, that's a very intimate experience. They love it. You know, I mean, if it's nothing more than, you know, going out, you know, take them out, man, dress them up, let them dress up fly. You dress up fly, man, and you literally go out there, man. You show them a wonderful time, man. These are your women. These are not some chicks you dating. These are your women, and you take them out on a date because they've earned it. Of course, they've earned it if they're your women. Hopefully, you make them earn it. But you know, you have to understand, man, that this scenario, this is an everyday thing. But I would rather do this than to be out chasing women all the damn time. You know, for me, this is much more preferable than just being out on the dating scene and all that shit. I ain't with none of that. Now, this is the caveat. All of your women should be different physically with similar upbringings and lifestyles. You understand? Like if you got a plant-based chick, you got to have two plant-based chicks. You see what I'm saying? You got to have two plant-based chicks. If you got a fitness chick, hopefully you ain't including no chick who not about her fitness. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to this physical thing, as men, we have so many different preferences. So I've got a yellow chick and a chocolate chick. All other women fall into either yellow or chocolate. They're either closer to chocolate. You get caramel, we're gonna put her in chocolate. You got mocha, we're gonna put her in chocolate. You got red bone, we're gonna put her in yellow. You know what I'm saying? You got shit. Even you want to go to other races, you got, Asian chick gonna put her in yellow. White chick gonna put her in yellow. You know what I'm saying? All the African chicks, of course, you know where they go. Jamaican chicks, they go over there. All of them is either gonna be yellow or chocolate. And for me, those two are enough. Cause sometimes, man, you wanna beat some chocolate. Other time you want to beat some yellow. You know, sometimes you want to punish some chocolate. Other time you want to punish some yellow. Sometimes you want to break a chocolate back. Then other time you want to break a yellow back. You know, and that's the main thing, man. You know, a lot of times we feel like we need to keep our women separate. But my thing is this right here, man. You got to be able to weed out women that aren't going to work in this scenario. Like sometimes it just ain't going to work, but you got to know the things to do to see if they're going to work. You know, giving them, presenting them to each other in a scenario and trying to get them to be friends. Now, it helps a lot if you do it early on before their feelings get caught up. It's hard to have two women who feelings already got caught up and now you're trying to make them be fucking friends when they already view each other as enemies. That's a difficult task. Like I've never done that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it can't be done, but I'm not saying it can either. Anything's possible, but that's the difficult way to do it. You know, it's hard to get them to come out of their feelings and get along because you know how women are, man. Once they develop that animosity, man, it's hard to break out of it. You know, and especially if there's a fear. You know, if there's a fear of the other woman replacing them, a woman will never be friends with a woman that she fears is going to replace her. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, you have to be totally honest from the beginning, man, about your expectations. Because if you're not, and you let a woman get caught up with you, man, emotionally, and she get caught up with you under the premise that y'all gonna be in a monogamous relationship, man, you can't turn that woman into that shit. This had to be done early on. You can't take a woman who has fallen for you under the guise of being in a monogamous relationship and then suddenly spring on her that, well, we're gonna try to be in this polygamous. Man, you might as well chalk that shit up to the game. Because even if you could do it, it ain't worth it. It's gonna take too much time, energy, and effort for some shit that even if she get into it, probably still ain't gonna be right. You need to have your women fully vested into this life, man. You got to have them fully vested into this life. If they're not fully vested into this life, then it's just going to be a waste of time, bro. So, but it's all worth the try. Just you got to get them together. You got to get them together. You got to get them together. You got to, and that's just about control. I know, some beta male sitting there, Johnny gonna say, well, man, that's gonna be hard to do, Dr. BOA. How you gonna get all the women together like that? You gonna get your women together, man, and they just gonna be okay like that. That ain't gonna work, Dr. BOA, man. You just be talking, man. I ain't gonna do that, man. No women gonna beat my ass. I ain't gonna do that. Man, let me tell you something. This is about control. It ain't about controlling the women. When we talk about control, we never talk about controlling the women. We talk about controlling our lives. And if the women want to be in our lives, they're going to get in where they fit in. You're not controlling women. I don't control women, bro. I don't control no women. I don't even dominate women. I talk about it. It makes for a good title, but I don't dominate women. I dominate my life. And when the women are in my life, they just fall under the domination umbrella. But I don't just go about saying, I'm going to dominate this woman. Nah, man, I dominate my life. And once she get in there, she understands that, and I verbally relate this, of course, but she understands, man, that is my will, no way. Any woman who buys into is my will, no way, man. She's saying, okay, it's okay. I know you dominate your life. I'm all in. And that's just the reality of it, man. You know what I'm saying? You just got to dominate your life. And that's what this is all about. But whatever it takes, dominating your life. When men go monk, all they're doing is dominating their life. They're just dominating their life, man. So another thing is this, man. You must really enjoy these women in more ways than just sexually. You got to enjoy talking to them. You got to enjoy listening to them. You got to enjoy chilling with them. You got to enjoy having them laying up under you because that's something that women are going to do. You got to enjoy, you just got to enjoy, you got to enjoy eating with them. You got to enjoy a bunch of things, man. You got to enjoy traveling with them. You got to enjoy their energy. Their energy has to be positive. Their energy has to be, compensatory. Their energy has to be, I say compensatory to, what you bring with your energy. You understand? Their energy has to be a wonderful addition to your life. You have to have that. If not, bro, this ain't gonna work. You can't have this shit with a woman that you wanna get past you. So, that I think to me that's one of the most overlooked things because you can enjoy a woman sexually, man, and that'll hold the relationship up for a little while. It ain't gonna take long for it to fizzle out, though. It would not take long for it to fizzle out. And that's one of the main things, man, we have to, keep in mind. Another thing is this. You got to always lead with an iron fist, but be very considerate of each woman's preferences and desires. You lead with an iron fist, but you also consider that there are two women in your life. And every decision you make is going to affect them. Now, am I saying to you that, well, man, BOA, you talking about letting the women dominate. You talking about, letting the women control your decision. No, I'm telling you how to get the best out of the women in your life. You got to keep a woman in a certain headspace, man, to get the best out of her. You got to keep her in a certain headspace to get the best. That's the total. Any woman in my life, in any capacity, I'm gonna do what's necessary to get the best out of her, and that means keeping her in the proper headspace. You understand what I'm saying? That means keeping her in the proper headspace, and that's just that shit. That's just a part of the ism right there. Any man who tries to deny that just doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, because that's you. You absolutely have to do that, but you have to be firm. You can't be a pushover. You can't be any of that, because you got to think about this. Regardless of how high quality these women are, they're still women. Their nature is still going to do the same thing. They're still going to, they're still going to buck against the system a little bit. You understand? I mean, there won't be no disrespect and nothing like that, but they're still going to buck against. Man, let me tell you something, bro. And this is real talk. I have never had one quarrel with my women. Not one single debate, argument, nothing. I mean, we may have a discussion about something, and and it all end up, man. It turned into, just a spirited discussion. Just a fun discussion. But I've never had an argument. I've never had to go the hell off. And see, I'm spoiled by that. That's why if I meet a woman, because I'm not limited to two, but I'm content with two. I'm not limited to it though. But that's why whenever I meet a woman, man, and that energy, that combative energy, that talk back energy, that try to compete intellectually energy, man, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with it, and I'm not gonna change it either. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not gonna deal with it, bro. Let me tell you something. If you got a woman that you ever had an argument with, man, drop her ass. When you have an argument with a woman, that woman is competing with you as if she's a man. That woman is willing to verbally joust with you. That doesn't mean that don't say nothing about you. That don't mean you weak. That means she dumb. You know what I'm saying? That's all that means. That means that she is totally unaware. She's self-unaware. And that's just not something you can use, man. You can't deal with that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't dealing with that, bro. I'm not finna argue with no woman. I'm not finna. She no, well, you know what? She not finna argue with me. She not finna create no argument with me, bro. I just don't deal with that, because I don't give. I'm not no beta male simp mangina. I don't get into no war of words with no chick. So any woman who has that nature, she just has that energy about her. You see what I'm saying? Another thing, man. And if you're just joining me, man, we are talking about the art of polygyny, the motivations and complications of having two women, or more than two if that's your thing, but for me, just two. Another thing is this: your honesty about everything is the only way this works successfully. Man, you got to keep it a buck about everything. You got to keep it a buck. Your expectations of them, what they should expect from you, what they can expect from you, how you feel about them, what their position is there, is there a hierarchy, or are they both on equal playing field? Are they, whatever the deal is, you have to understand that it is your job to make sure everything is on the up and up and everything is on the table, because you're the leader. The leader makes the rules. You make the rules, you enforce the rules, and you follow the rules. You can break them if you want to. You the boss, but why? What does that prove? What does it prove for you to do something that you can do? It proves nothing. It proves that, like, if you can make layups, what does it prove for you to make 20 layups in a row? Go back to the 3-point line, or go to the free throw line, make 20 free throws in a row. Make 23 pointers in a row. What does it matter for you to do something that you already know you can do? If you're the boss, of course you can do that. But why? Why does it, what does it help for you to break the rules that you set? That makes you a piss poor leader. Makes you a piss poor leader. It's like a 350-pound personal trainer. And I ain't talking about 7'5", 350 pounds. I'm talking about 5'5", 350 pounds. Your honesty about everything is the only way this works successfully. And you got to be honest from the gate. See, I don't believe in luring a woman in, making her, getting her feelings, become emotionally attached to me under false pretenses, just so I can get what I want. Because once I get what I want, the truth is going to come out. And that, to me, it's just lame. Like, if you can't get it no other way, it ain't meant for you. Listen, man, if you can't keep it a buck about your intentions, your desires, your expectations with a woman and still get what you want from her, then that woman ain't feeling you. And if you do anything more and go to the line and man, you're a chump. The bottom line is, man, that we as men, especially brothers, we have to understand that all this going around, traipsing around, man, knocking down all these different women with no intention, man, on even creating a polygynous relationship, man, or anything else, man, that ain't what the Most High want for us, bro. This is not what the Most High wants for us. He don't want you to be a serial dater, knocking down everything you can. Now, if the Most High ain't your thing, then, hey, man, this probably ain't where you need to be, because the Most High is my thing. The Most High is our thing in the atmosphere, Jack. Another thing we got to keep in mind is this, man. You got to keep your emotions at bay at all times. This is not an emotional thing for you. This relationship is not an emotional space for you. It is a logical space for you. If you never needed logic any other time in your life, you need logic in a polygynous relationship. You have to, because it takes logic to lead this thing, man. If you don't keep your emotions at bay, you will certainly love one woman more than the other. It is inevitable. If you allow your emotions to run rampant, you will love one woman more than the other. And guess what happens? That woman will get preferential treatment. She will. I'm telling you, she'll get preferential treatment. I ain't lying to you, man. She will get preferential treatment. And that's the reality of it. And then it's over. It's done. She gets preferential treatment. See, this is the thing. You start off on the right path. I tell men this all the time. This is any relationship, even if you're in a monogamous relationship. You can't start off one way and then suddenly change on down the line. You can't do a 180-degree flip on down the line and think that you're going to be able to maintain a relationship. You simply can't do it. It doesn't work like that. So when you allow your emotions to run rampant, then you'll certainly love one more than the other. But if you don't allow your emotions to run rampant, then you don't worry about loving one more than the other, because you cannot love two women equally. I'm telling you, you can't. But you can equally appreciate, motivate, and associate with multiple women. I say again, you can equally appreciate, motivate, and associate with multiple women. You just can't equally love them. And that's the reality of it, man. We also have to keep in mind that, and this is just the reality of it, you have to be the most amazing man that these women have ever known. That's the only way this works. You have to be the most amazing man they've ever known, because that's the only way they're going to even be willing to go through this or deal with this or build this. This is the only reason that they're going to be party to this, They have to look at you and say you're the most amazing man they've ever known. And a lot of times, most times, this ain't got nothing to do with your paper. It got something to do with who you are as a man, stripped down to your very least compound. Let me tell you one of the most impressive things that one of the things that impressed my girls the most. Me honoring the Sabbath day. Me honoring the Sabbath day impressed them the most. Literally. Me honoring the Sabbath day, man, pretty much got both of them on board. That's how they got on board, me honoring the Sabbath day. All the rest of the things came along. You know what I'm saying? When I met them, they were already plant-based. Neither one of them was eating pork, or none of them foul, abominable meats. But that right there, they got them, man. You understand? And ain't nothing more wonderful than, chilling on the Sabbath, man. You know what I'm saying? And just resting and relaxing with your wives, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I do refer to them as my wives, man. These are my wives, man. That's just the way it is. Vici, I see you, bro. Yeah. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, brother. 2 wives, 14 children deep in his lifestyle, man. Courting his third, man. I'm telling you, man. There's so blessings abound when you do things according to the way the Most High, wrote in the Scripture for us, or delivered through the prophets in the Scripture for us, man. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing, man. It really is. So another thing is this, man. You must be the breadwinner and provider. You can't expect to do this if you are not the breadwinner and provider. Now, let me break down what breadwinner and provider means. Because a lot of these terminologies, you can look at the European version or the European definition of them, the Anglo-Saxon definition. A lot of these terminologies, the Anglo-Saxon definition is different from the true definition. Now, what do I mean breadwinner and provider? See, breadwinner does not mean you go out and make all the money while the women do nothing. Breadwinner means that all the bread that comes into the home comes to you. Now, in my scenario, my girls work for me. Like, they do whatever I need them to do. I don't have to hire anybody to do. There's a bunch of shit that would cost me. I'd be out of thousands of dollars a year, but I don't have to hire nobody to do any of these things. I don't type. I don't want to type. You understand? I peck pretty good, but I don't type. But in administrative duties, man, it don't matter how much of it is. Whatever it is, got somebody on call to do it. When it comes to whatever I need to have done, you understand? If I'm tired as hell, man, I got to go out of town. I got a 4-hour drive, man. I need to get some sleep, man. Guess what, man? I automatically have a designated driver, man, who's going to hop in the whip, man, and roll. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever it is I think I may need. Whatever it is I think I may need. But if that's not your scenario, man, and your woman goes out and makes money, it's just the fact that all the money comes through to you. And you are fiscally responsible enough. Let me tell you something. The majority of women have no problem with you. This is the majority of women. They have no problem with you governing the finances. It's just the fact that the majority of men are irresponsible financially. Why? Because the majority of men outside of these types of relationships are always tricking off on some other chick. See, it's only tricking off on a chick if the chick is not a part of your family. If the chick is a part of the fam, it's not tricking off on her. It's taking care of the family. It's a whole lot easier for your woman to accept this woman if this woman is your woman as well. If this woman is your woman ain't worrying about this woman taking her from you. They both got you. And this type of family works because you are a responsible man. You are a fiscally responsible man. You are a financially responsible man. Things get taken care of because of the type of man you are. And these women go along with it because, technically speaking, bro, women don't want to be the breadwinner. Women don't want to be the provider. And not only do they not want it, A family is cursed when the woman is the provider, because whoever is the provider is the leader. And your household is cursed if your woman is the leader of it. The same way the Garden of Eden was cursed because Eve was the leader of it. See, let me tell you something. We can speculate about why Adam wasn't approached and Eve was. The decision that ruined that scenario had a domino effect, and the first domino was pushed over by the woman. We can all say that, well, man, Adam should have, well, it was up to him. Yeah, it was up to him. But this thing had never happened before the woman. If Adam had been a strong man, the woman might not have even gone that way. But obviously he was a weak man, because the very moment the woman came to him and said, hey, I know what God said, but eat this. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. And he ate it. He was weak. He didn't just get weak at that point. He was already weak. That's why his old lady was tempted, because he wasn't doing a good job of guiding her ass. He didn't stay. He didn't keep his foot on her neck. He didn't make sure that he ruled with an iron fist. That's the reality of it. Another thing, man, that we have to keep in mind is this. You must be sexually dominant and never make a hoe steak. Now, what's a hoe steak? A hoe steak is a mistake that a man makes that's feminine. So you can't be, if you sexually dominant, you can't be letting no chick play around with your booty, dog. Ain't nothing sexually dominant about that. That's sexually submissive. That's how men submit to other men. So you're going to submit to a woman that way. It changes the entire dynamic. It changes the energy of the scenario. So you got to be totally sexually dominant, and you can't put yourself in a sexually submissive position, because once you submit to anyone sexually, if you submit to a woman sexually, just like if a woman submits to a man sexually, it changes her engagement with that man. Once she submits to that man sexually, the rest of her submits. Same thing with you and the woman. It changes everything when you put yourself in a position. And the thing is, a lot of men don't even think it's a submissive position, so they end up just doing it, not even thinking about the fact that it's put them in a submissive position. And then a year later, they wonder what happened to the relationship. What happened to the relationship is when you go that route, the Most High pulls back his energy from the relationship, because you have submitted to your woman. A man, if you're going to submit, you should only submit to the Most High. You should never submit to a man. You should never submit to a woman. You should only submit to the Most High. And that's the reality of it. Going down on these women, same thing. There ain't no place to put your face. That's not what that's meant for. That's not meant for that. You see, this is only meant for godly men. This is only meant for righteous men. You can't do this, man, any other way. It'll never work for you if you don't put God as the head of this scenario as you do the rest of your life. Another thing, brothers, and this is the reality of it, man. This is the reality of it. Your women can't have no male friends. And not for the traditional reason, not because, well, eventually she gonna have sex with him. Not because of that. She can't have no male friends because a man of God is not going to want to be a friend with another man's wife anyway. Secondly, those guys are going to be used by Satan to get into her brain and tell her shit like, well, man, I don't see how you do it. You're a beautiful woman. And this is something I've dealt with. but not even from a friend. That's why I'm telling you she got a female friend. This wasn't even from a friend. This was from a family member. I will get into that in a minute too. Yeah, well, man, you're a beautiful woman. You got this degree and blah blah blah, and you can have any man you want. You can have your own man. You ain't got to share no man. And she came to me, and she was disturbed by it. And I sat her down, and I said, "Look, are you sharing me?" Well, I'm you got two women, so I think I am. Yeah, yeah. But see, if you sharing me, that means you own me. Do you own me? Because you can like share your money, you can share your car, you can share your clothes, you can share your food. But do you own me? Or do I own you? That's all it took. She said, well, you own me, Dad. I said, well, look, well, shit, if I own you, then how can you be sharing me? Share me with who? We're family. Family share everything. Everything we got, we share. We family. You're not some chick. Don't let them talk to you like you some chick. You letting these people make you feel like you just some chick on the side. You just some little thing I got. We're a family, shawty. Me, you, and Vanessa, we family. Like we are a family. Find me a family that live better than us. Find me a family that get along better than us. Find me a family that shares more intimate moments than us. We're family. They're not your family. Them your fucking relatives. They don't matter. They wish they were in this position. And that was it. That's all the conversation it took right there. But this is what you have to do. It's your job to teach them how to explain the situation in an informed manner if they want to explain it. You have to make sure they know what this is, and they don't need to just feel like you're just a man with two women. That's not what it is. You always have to push family, family, family. You want them to be referring to it as family. Somebody say, hey, we're having a company party, such and such, or whatever. Hey, you want to come? Well, no, me and my family, I'm spending time with my family this weekend. That's how she should refer to the scenario. They both should. That's how I refer to it that way. They refer to it that way. We are a family. We are family. I got two bad sisters with me. I'm telling you, we are family, bro. Another thing, no traditionally married female friends. If if this woman is traditionally married to one man, he's a chump. When he said I do, he lost some of his masculinity. When he got out on one knee, he lost a shitload of his masculinity. That boy running at 50% masculinity. Dropped down on knee, lost about 40, lost another 10 when he said I do. That boy run on half capacity. And that woman right there ain't gonna bring nothing but negative energy. Nothing but negative energy. I don't care who it is. Like she don't bring them a negative energy. And I don't play that game right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand this. The same way Satan used Eve to bring the negative energy into the garden, the same way Satan used Delilah to bring the negative energy to Samson, the same way Satan used Bathsheba to bring the negative energy to King David. You got to understand that's just how it goes. That's how it goes. See, we ain't talking about these celebrities and all that. The men I just named were men of God. We're different. We live a different life. We have a different mindset. We have a different interaction with the world. Our lives are different. So we're not talking, nobody else can apply to this but men of God. But Satan will always use a woman to bring that negative energy in. And so that woman right there who has already reduced this man over here to running at 50% capacity on testosterone, on manhood, on masculinity, on alpha energy, and she comes over here and start imputing that devilment into your women's mind, brother. Nah, she got the roll. She can't even come around, bro. You know what I'm saying? She out of there. Real talk, brother. She is out of there. Because all it takes, man, for a little bit of that negative energy to get in there, and be honest with you, bro, that negative energy is so slick, it eases in, man. Before you know it, man, when you look up, you can see it. It's all over the place now. You ain't see it at first, then suddenly one day you wake up, it's all over the place. Like, damn, what the hell happened here? Now, the next thing is this. You can't be their everything. You can't be their everything because you need them to rely on each other for certain things. When they have a problem, an issue that needs to be resolved, they bring it to you. Right? If it's not an issue and they just need somebody to talk to, you make them each other's best conversation pieces. You understand what I'm saying? But you also govern with an iron fist. So it ain't gonna be no walking into the room and y'all talking, and then when I come in, y'all stop talking. But that's because you cultivated that type of understanding. They know that they can talk about anything around you, and they always do until they don't. And then when they don't, they're talking about some shit that you don't need to hear, that they don't want you to hear. Now, are you supposed to be listening for everything? No, don't listen for everything. Don't listen to everything, man, unless you hear your servant curse you. But the bottom line is, you can't be their everything. You want them to confide in each other sometimes. You want them to, to hang with each other. You want them to shit. Even if it goes to the point where they intimate one another, you want them to be able to do that. You want them to feel comfortable doing things with each other. You want them to feel comfortable saying things to each other. You want them to feel comfortable being supportive of one another. You want them to feel comfortable being, being engaged in one another's issues and one another's good times, bad times, one another's accomplishments, failures, all of that. You want them to be engaged in that, but you want them to be engaged in that under the guise of keeping the family strong. They want you to be pleased with their capacity to keep the family strong, even in your absence. Now, me, be perfectly honest with you, I don't want my women. I'm glad my women don't want to have sex with one another. Because for me, I think that opens a different emotional connection between them that it just complicates the issue a whole lot. It complicates the issue a whole lot. So the main thing is, man, to keep God first in this scenario. So you don't have to worry about none of those negative energies, those negative lust energies, and those negative dishonesty energies, and all of these things, man. You don't have to worry about those coming through. Q, I appreciate the $35 super chat, man. Representing from South Africa, man. Appreciate you being in the joint, bro. Relationship. It is your job to defend their choice to be with you in this unorthodox relationship, because there are going to be some attacks, there are going to be some name calling, there's going to be some crazy things said. It's your job to defend their choice to be with you in this unorthodox relationship. It is a choice. Now, we do this by choice, not force. But how do you defend that? By staying on top of your game and being the leanest, meanest, most paid, most spiritually sound, confident version of yourself. Always being the man. And gradually and steadily improving every damn day. That's how you justify. Well, let's not say defend. It's your job to justify their willingness and choice to be with you in this unorthodox relationship. And you do that by being that. You got to be that nigga right there every time. People got to be saying, man, I see why they with him. I probably do it too. That's what women should be saying. Even women in their family. It's your job to make sure that you don't. It's your job to not fall off or not do anything stupid, not end up in prison or not do anything crazy to where they look stupid. Because let me tell you something, brothers. I don't care how tight a woman is with you. Two things women don't want you to make them look like or feel like: ugly and dumb. Two things a woman don't want you to make her feel like is ugly and dumb. You can make her feel like anything else, just not those two things. And that's real, man. And like I said, man, keep God first and lead them spiritually as their only liaison to the Most High. You know the weirdest thing to me, man? To see a man that don't go to church but his old lady in church every Sunday. That's weirdo shit. Why is man? Listen, bro. That means that you are willingly allowing another man to lead your woman spiritually. And then even worse than that is the man who follows his woman up in church. Man ain't been in church, man, since he was a kid. Meet a woman, man, now she got him in church every Sunday. And that's, for me, I just feel like, man, at no point should you allow your woman to lead you in any kind of way. Any kind of way. So, hey, look, man, I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. If you're just joining me, man, you late as hell. But this is the art of polygyny, the motivation and complications of having two women. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, brothers. This is a wonderful experience, man. It is a wonderful thing. It is you know, it is more fun than it is anything else, man. It is a wonderful life. It is pleasing, and it's also the reason that I don't cold approach. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to. Also the reason I don't date. I ain't got to, because I feel like this. These are two women, man, who provide great value to my life. I take them out on dates. Why would I take some random chick out and reward her with something that they had to earn? So a lot of the things I say are based on my lifestyle, man, based on how I live. So I know it'd be sounding weird. Some of the things, man, oh man, cold approach is beta. Because you know what? I ain't cold approach either one of these women. They both showed attraction confirmation at different times, but they both showed attraction confirmation. And I capitalized on it, man. You know, that's just what I did. So this one right here, man, it'll be on the Patreon pack for this coming weekend, man. Got a couple of fly pieces coming up, man. Max Sauce, make sure you click the notification bell, man. Or I tell you what you do, man. Unclick the bell and then click it back. Sometimes people have to unsubscribe and then, you know, click the unsubscribe button and then subscribe right back, and then it'll set you back up, man. You know, I don't really know, you know, what's going on with notifications, man. It does a few people like that. Now, I'm gonna leave this thing up, man, to probably 6 a.m., man. So if y'all want to come back and listen to it as a playback now, you know, just for you men who are in here now, if y'all want to listen to it, man, on the playback, man, y'all go ahead, man. Then after that, man, after that, it's gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying? It'll be on Patreon. So I leave it up for y'all, man. Just, you know, just for the ones who are in here, listen to it on playback, man. Or ones who came in a little late, man, listen to it on playback. But you know, it won't be up, man, when everybody else get up and start, you know, trying to listen to it. It'll be gone, man. So hey, I appreciate y'all being in the joint, brothers. Real talk, man. Flim, I see you in the building, bro. I appreciate you being in the joint. Couple brothers in here, man. Hey, this was real, man. This was real. Bunch of let me go back in here, man. I want to look at some. I see some Bible discussion in here. I'm saying in the Old Testament, multiple wives were allowed, not allowed in the New Testament from the Most High. Honestly, man, you ain't really seen. I haven't seen any word in the New Testament even referenced to the Most High, even reference to come from the Most High. And another thing is, I haven't read anything that said, man, you can't have two wives. I know I haven't read anything in that says that. If you read something in the New Testament that says you can only have one wife, put that in there. I'm talking about expressly said, not implied, expressly said that you can only have one wife. So, hey man, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to slide on out this joint, man. I appreciate everybody being in the joint. The Sabbath, man, is sun up, sundown. Because you got to think about it. That back then, it was sun up to sundown. That was it. And when at sundown, when the sun was gone at night, everybody was in their crib. It wasn't no. Think about it. Wasn't nowhere to go. Wasn't no club and wasn't no party and then like that. Everybody was in their crib. That's why people lived longer then. I'm gonna hip y'all to something before we get out of here. That's why people lived a whole lot longer then, because they allowed their biological clock to start on time. Your brain starts to recover about an hour and a half to 2 hours after sunset. After dark, your brain starts to go into recovery mode. But we live in a society where there are people who still on the interstate trying to get home from their job at that time. And then you get home and you got to eat and you got to unwind and you got to watch a little TV and you got to do all that. And then before you know it, it's 11, 12 o'clock before you go to bed. Well, the brain doesn't recover after midnight. You understand? The brain has been through recovering after midnight. It's done. The brain don't recover. These time cycles are very pertinent to our lives and our development, and our existence, and our health. So from sun up to sundown, man, the seventh day from sun up to sundown is the Sabbath. VM, man, I appreciate you joining in, bro. Appreciate you joining in, man. Welcome to the Alphasphere. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this thing up, man, for a minute, for at least till 6 a.m., man, and then I'm gonna pull it on down. Flames, man, I appreciate you, man, pumping out them links, bro. Real talk. So we're gonna head on out, man. Hey, man, y'all remember, man, keep God first and keep grinding and growing, my brothers. Peace. It's the book of Alpha running me, nigga. Read it or weep.